Well, welcome back. It's 6 o'clock, so we know what that means. It's time to have a look at a brand new one-day special. And you have been shopping ahead. As soon as you see Heartfelt and you see 6 o'clock, you know you need to get in early, because we have got the most incredible one-day special launching here, launching now, that you can get hold of over 3 flexi-buy payments. Now, the details are already on your screen. I know so many of you get involved straight away before I have to show you anything with regards to this one. But as always, I've got the fabulous Nikki joining me. This is a bumper bundle,
isn't it? I know, and this covers basically every occasion, every season, and it is been very cleverly put together so that all those elements can be mixed and matched together as well.
Clever, I love it. And this is one of those things that we regularly say that wreaths are for all year round. Obviously, we first of all think of them with regards to Christmas, but to be honest, more and more so, I'm seeing spring wreaths, Easter wreaths.
And autumn especially, I think, with Halloween as well. I think everyone is like adorning their front doors.
I think they like that look,
you know,
don't
even
they?
if you don't go for the whole sort of like Halloween look, you can go for an autumnal one with the pumpkins and all the sort of like nice oranges and browns.
I love it. Now on the screen you can see you've got your I Want It All collection, and if you are a Heartfelt fan you will know that that will include everything from this particular bundle. Now at the bottom we've got your essentials, and as is always the case, well not always but more often than not the case, you do get your pad. That's kind of one of your core essentials, alongside a set of stamps and a set of dies. That's what we're calling your essentials, and that's what's at the bottom of your screen. So you can see you're going to get the paper pad, which Nikki's going to take you through in a few moments. You're also going to get the stamp set and the die set that you can see just adjacent to it. So it's a really fabulous bundle at £46.97. And this is kind of what Heartfelt say you need to get by.
Yes, so if you can't, sort of, your budget doesn't stretch to go for the large bundle, this one you will still be able to make absolutely gorgeous projects with, gorgeous scrapbook layouts, mini albums still using your paper pad. And we always put it together with the, we would say, probably the most useful stamp and die set. And this one is the, it says summer, but I kind of think it covers spring. As well, because obviously spring we get our little florals, you get the dicky birds, you know, we think about the flowers just kind of blooming in the garden.
Back into life again,
absolutely.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So this is what you're actually going to get, your summer wreath accents in the stamp, and you will get it in the die as well.
I love it. So there you go, those are your essentials if you're wanting to go for those. But before you check your basket out for that, bear in mind your 3 flexi-buy payments are actually less than what you're going to be paying for that, so you might want to have a look at the complete bundle. There is a £5 saving with that one, but don't worry, we're going to hang on to that as we take ourselves across to the complete bundle. So within this one you're going to get exactly what we've just spoken of there, but you are going to get so much more. This is where you are extending the dies that you've got. So the dies are now actually cutting out elements that are within the pages. So you can see you've got your summer wreath as part of your core essentials, but then we're extending to the autumn and the winter wreath with this one as well. And again, you're going to get the stamps and dies as combinations that you can work with together. Now, as is usually the case when we do see a brand new collection, you will have a project there. If you're going for the complete collection, then you will have the ability to create a fabulous project, and your inspiration sheet is included within your bundle. And of course, it all comes wrapped up in a fabulous bag, which you can use to keep your 12 by 12 pages in, to keep them nice and pristine. Details are on your screen, so if you want to get involved, then you can do 262203, and of course you can see the details on your screen. Now, one thing I'm going to mention to you is with regards to the dispatch of this one. This one's coming a little bit delayed with regards to this one, so we're looking at, is it the 12th? Oh, the 15th of October, so 12 days, that's where I got the 12 from. 262203 if you're wanting to get involved with these. But 10% of the stock has gone already. Now, I've got some finished samples to share with you, but I think it's right that we have a little look maybe at that paper pad to give you an essence of the feel for this one. So, Nikki, take it away.
Right, so this paper pad is, I think, slightly different. We were just talking about this, weren't we? It's sort of got lots of different tones of greens in. And then a pop of like a very kind of pastel lemon. So you are going to be able to use so many colours alongside it. Double-sided, as always. And you've got your quick, what I call ready-to-go card panels here. You've got your 6x6s, your, what are these? 3x6s, aren't they? Are they 3?
They're kind of more rectangular,
Or are they 4? They're 4, aren't they?
Yeah.
4x6. But you've got your matte and layering that's been done for you. You've got your tags down the side, so you can stamp your sentiments on those as well.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous colours in here. As I say, it's one of those paper pads that you are going to be able to put any colour flowers with, add other papers as well from other collections, because it is going to work so well with it. You have got your elements, so this is where you're really going to see what this collection's all about. So this is the spring, I'm saying spring summer. I'm renaming the stamp
kind of all on
set.
there, really,
But you've got your summer florals here. You've got lots of different greens, greenery. I can't think what these are called. And are they poppy seed heads?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they are,
little seed
aren't
heads. I'm
they?
looking at the actual the dyes that we've got here, and like you say, or actually
They
the stamps
all
I'm
are going to
looking at,
coordinate
yeah.
beautifully. If I just grab one. So there's that one there. So you're not going to be cutting these out individually. You are going to be able to cut these out in one pass with those 3 leaves there. The same as with your butterfly and the bee. That comes in, you've got 2 on there, if I can pick it up somewhere. Let's just find it. I always do this, I can't find it now. There's that many, there is actually so many stamps and dyes.
But
there you go, look. So they are going to fit nicely on there.
So you've got 31 dyes in this set.
I know, there's a lot of dyes
Wow.
in this set, because you're actually also, you're getting not just your stamps and dyes, you are getting that wreath dye in there as well. You've got cute little owls, they are so sweet. You've got your Christmases covered here, so if you've not started your Christmas cards yet, this is a fantastic collection to go for, because as I say, all seasons, Christmas is covered, autumn's covered, summer, spring, everything. But you've also got what I love about this, and I will show you the larger panel in a second on the 12x12, because these are the 6x6s. You've actually got strips of sentiments in here, which you could use, and you could cut them up. And I think these ones are sort of like suitable for some of your smaller cards. But then when we come to the larger one in a minute, so I'm just going to flick through so you guys at home can get a feel for this paper pad.
And I love it because you've got all sorts of different styles and genres featuring in this.
you
And like you
have,
say,
yeah.
every season of the year.
Yeah, I mean, lovely sort of muted lemon there, which gives it a really good pop. Then, of course, you've got your sheet with all your tags and just where you can stamp your sentiments on. As I say, lots of greens going through here. So this is that larger 12x12. So if you just look at all those sentiments, now these are going to work with any collection because they're green.
So many different phrases as well on there.
Happy anniversary. We've got with sympathy, hugs, happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day, get well wishes. We've got on your special day. As I say, every occasion has been covered in this paper pad. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one.
That's
I really
nice
do like this one.
That'd make a fabulous kind of envelope or box.
It would, wouldn't it?
Like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
As I
Little
say,
bag.
absolutely gorgeous collection. And I think one of those
Beautiful.
collections you're probably going to use time and time again, isn't
and
it?
Every
Definitely.
last scrap, you won't want to waste any of those pieces.
Definitely not. But it is absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely
So basically towards the end, I think we've seen all those. But yeah, you're getting 12 sheets. No, we're not. We're getting 24 sheets, 12 designs, 2 of each design.
Wonderful, and every single one of them is double-sided, so that will give you an essence of what you are going to be able to create with these. And of course, one of the first things you might do is take those dies and start cutting out those elements, especially if you've gone for the I Want It All collection, because of course you will have all the dies, all the stamps to work alongside the fabulous papers that you can see. But over 10% of the stock has gone. Beauty is, though, if you're actually cutting out the elements from the page, then obviously you can craft with them straight away. But then you have got the stamps there to kind of create your own versions of those. Take inspiration with regards to the actual colours as well. And the beauty of that is that you're going to have them to use time and time again. So what you will find is you'll get kind of duos. You'll get them in sets. So this particular one, if you wanted to go for the stamps and the dies alongside each other, then you can do. So by all means do check them out on the website. But of course the biggest saving is when you're going for them all together. So you can see every single one of those stamps that you've got there, you will have a corresponding die allowing you to cut out. Means that you don't have to fussy cut all of those tiny little elements that you've got there, which to be honest, if it was me, I wouldn't even bother, because half of those leaves would have fallen off by the time I finished. Then you've got the fabulous little critters. You've got your little owls there, as you can see, with their cheery little faces. Again, you've got the dies that are going to allow you to cut everything out. And of course, the beauty is you can use them over and over again. Now, if you're not sure about the colour, then don't worry. You can take inspiration from the actual ink pads with regards to your colours and your inks. And then, of course, you can start creating with those as well. So you've got lots of pairings with regards to the stamps and the dies. You've also got an additional die, which is this fabulous wreath shape that you've got here. So if you're wanting to create and just create using your papers and your cardstock, maybe some of those solid colours and those muted tones that Nikki's just taken us through, then you can actually create a wreath just utilising this and not actually using a stamp or the pages from the paper pad. Got a fabulous big bow, as you can see there, and lots of little kind of components there. So if you wanted to add those as additional embellishments, that you can do. And it really is a fabulous kind of set to go for, because it means that you can take elements from the pages alongside things like the bow that we just saw a few moments ago. And you can see just in the backdrop where you've got that green cardstock being used, that's utilising the die that you're wanting to use by itself potentially. Or maybe you're going to go more autumnal with your colours and your themes, with your little characters, your little owls featuring in there. Maybe you're going to be going kind of quite kind of lemon tones with this one. Haven't you got the lemon in the back that Nikki showed us? But then also what you've got is kind of those more pastel tones, more of a spring-like look. But you don't actually have to make it utilising the wreath as a complete wreath if you don't want to. Again, one of the background papers being picked out there, and again, little elements from the pad have been cut out. Olga has created a beautifully kind of circular card with regards to this one as well. It really is an amazing way for you to actually utilise that. You can see just how much fun the design team have had when they've been working with these as they've been going. So you can see, absolutely gorgeous. Aren't they beautiful? Now, a lot of you are doing what we regularly see when we see a launch with a brand new paper pad, is treating yourselves to an extra one. Well, the details are at the bottom of the screen, and you can add that in for just an extra £17.99. Now, of course, if you're spreading your cost over 3 payments with your one-day special, that works out about an extra £6 or so, I think, if I remember rightly. 6, 12, yeah, 18. So there you go. Makes sense to do so. And of course, that is the only element that is kind of exhaustible, isn't it? When you use those paper pieces, then you will find you'll come to the end of them at time. But of course, the beauty is you could be taking advantage of that extra paper pad as a bit of a bonus, really, couldn't you? Use some of those savings that you are making with this one. Aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. So, best way for you to get hold of everything, to be honest, is to jump onto the website. That's where you'll find everything laid out. So if you're wanting to get your one-day special, you can. If you want to go for your essentials, you can. But as I mentioned, do treat yourself to an extra paper pad if you can manage to stretch to it. You will not regret it. And of course, you'll see Nikki working with lots of different elements as she's doing her demonstration, and you can add those goodies into your basket as you go. Don't forget, brand new collection. You might want a brand new storage binder, always incredibly popular. And, oh, did I mention 7-day save as well? I did indeed, because a brand new 7-day saver that we've got for you is the flower shaping kit. Now, this is brilliant because it's only £19.99. It's brilliant value at the full price, but for the next week, it's actually launched at 8 o'clock this morning. When I had my email come through and I had a little look, I was like, ooh, I'm going to remember to mention that one later on, because everybody likes a bargain, don't they? So, yes, if you've been looking before at the deluxe kit and you've not actually gone for it, then being able to get hold of it as a 7-day save, that means you are actually saving on that one. So, yeah, take advantage. Nikki's actually working with hers now. So, yeah, if you're wanting yours, please do so. Now, when you come to check out your basket as well, you'll find some additional saving items that you might want to add in as well. These tend to be less than a tenner in price, and they're always something you can add in with no additional post and packing. So you might come across different things there, things like the flower shaping mold that you can actually pop through your die cutting machine, things you might have missed out on previously. That's a perfect opportunity for you to bag now, and some of them are very affordable goodies to pop in place as well. So there you go. That's a little kind of insight into how shopping online works, but if you don't shop online, then don't worry, our call operators will be able to take you through all the paces. Just keep a note of the different things that you want with your little wish list, and they'll help you when you come to check out your order with them. So, Nikki, what's the plan?
Right, so I'm going to start with autumn, because I think we're just literally coming into autumn, so this is a perfect one to start with. So I'm not mixing up the stamp and die collections. I'm going to try and keep it simple for you so you can get a good look at what's actually in each individual stamp and die set. So, as I say, this is the autumn stamp and die set. This is just a few of the elements. I don't think I've used all of them. I haven't, because you've actually got in here, you've got pumpkins. I'm having a look, little peep over here. You've got your pumpkins in this one. You've got grapes. You've got grape leaves in it. In actual fact, should we just show you some? There we are. There's your grape leaves. Look, but you could cut that up, cut them off, and you've got a smaller version. I think these are these Acer? These ones.
Oh, I don't know.
Not 100% sure, but yeah. So you could make them into something different. As I say, I've got lots of elements here. I've got those leaves. I'm saying those leaves because I don't know what they are. I should know, shouldn't I?
Oh, don't worry.
But hey, but what I've done is I've coloured them all in different colours. Okay, so I've got my really autumnal colours. I've got some greens. I've done some of the flowers in red because I thought that would be quite different. And then I've also done some apples in a nice juicy red as well. Okay, so I've used a mixture when I've coloured them in of my, using my daubers, of course, and also I've used some of my watercoloured pens as well, just to add, like on this apple there, look, if you can just see, I've just added a little bit more shade in.
Well, it looks very juicy.
But they are really easy to colour. So I've just taken an apple, and I'm going to do this one a green and red apple. Okay. So I'm just taking my dauber. I'm using Twisted Citron for the green. So where shall I put the red? Right, so I'll tell you what, we'll put a bit of green there. A little bit of green up the top there. It's a really nice bright green. And then I'm going to go in. Now this one I'm going in with Festive Berries, and I'm using, instead of the oxide, I'm actually using the Distress ink for this one. The reason being, I think when you, for the apples especially, I want it a really nice dark deep red, and you get a much more deeper colour with the Distress inks. So add that bit of red there, keep it a bit fabulous. Darker there, and then just bring my dauber in with the green and just blend that up. Green stalk there, and there you've got a green and red apple, just sort of changing colour. And then with the, I think these are Acers, not 100% sure, maple, isn't it? They're maple, aren't they? Maple leaves, I'm sure.
I'm not quite sure, I can't see.
We're not quite sure. Do email in if you know.
Whatever you want them to be.
So what I'm going in with here, I'm going in with tea dye, then I'm going in with my fired brick, and then I want a little bit of wild honey. Okay, so first of all I'm going to add my green, so I'm going in with that Twisted Citron again. Now this is the oxide Twisted Citron. It's a really nice, it gives me a really nice deep base. Okay, so there's my base. Then I will go in with my red, which is fired brick. Blend that in, and you could, thing is, you can make it just a little bit, so it's just sort of like turning, or you could go in and just do it a full sort of brown and orangey colour. So this is, what colour is that one? That's my wild honey. And then I'm going to go in with a new dauber again because I want to pick up my tea dye. Now, I have to admit, this tea dye is basically probably when they very first came out. How long have these been out, the Distress inks?
Quite a while now, yeah.
Years.
Yeah, is that one of the originals?
This one is, I must admit, coming towards, I think, the end of its life.
You might be due a new one then.
I think I do, and I know they've got some lovely new colours out as well, so I might treat myself to that as well. So just go in with that deeper colour.
Don't forget the daubers give you complete control with regards to those colours as well. You're actually going to get 2 of these little dauber sets, so they're brilliant because they're like little triangles, and that means that the foam that you've got there can get right into the little bits of nitty-gritty with regards to these. So you can see how they kind of all click together, which of course you can keep them in a tube if you're wanting to, but they'll still click together even if you don't have them in the tube, and you are getting twice the quantity that you can see there, because you are actually getting 12 of them for just £13.99, and you can add those in alongside your one-day special. Spread the cost of those over 3 payments as well if you choose. 069 154 if you are wanting those.
So there is my leaf, but of course we are going to want to shape all of those elements that we've just coloured in. Okay, so with the apple and the maple, what I'm going to do is bring in my, there it is, very used mat. Always think to myself, I'm going to have just one, especially for the show, but I still end up getting glue on it.
But you know what? We like to see that you actually use it, because it's all well and good you telling us how fabulous it is, but if it looks like it's the day that you bought it, then we're not going to believe that you use it.
We're not going to believe,
are we?
no, definitely not. But you guys know that I use these on a daily basis. But can you see how the density of that mat is allowing me to really add some shape
Get
and
right
texture in there. And because you've got all the different size tips, you see, and that they are magnetic, again, very well used there. I think it's obviously touched the hot glue gun at some point. You've got so many, I think, is there 16 different size tips?
Well, we've actually got, let's have a look, we've got 10 different tips in there, I think. So
it's 10, is it?
Work our way round. I can never remember. I just turn it round. I kind of cheat a little bit because I don't need to remember when they're already there. But the beauty is you've got the kind of the handle, so the magnetic tips on each end mean that you can kind of have 2 different tools on there at the same time. So it might be that you're going to go for 2 ball tools, or you might want to go for the curling tool alongside one of the ball tools. It's entirely up to you. But you can see that you've got a whole range of different sizes here, including things like your piercing tool, and you've also got your curling tool, which is very similar to something like a quilling tool, as you can see. Obviously you're going to get your handle there, and the beauty is it all is stored in this incredible box, which means that you can just pop it on your shelf. Magnetic closure on there as well, and it comes with your mat, which again you can just use it just like Nikki's using. You've got 2 mats in there, so the one that Nikki's working with, you've got another one which has got a little bit of a firmer density, and then a little home for every single one of those heads.
And that's what I love about it, because if you do, sometimes, you know what we're like, I'm very much like, yes, I'll take that tip out, take another one out, and I leave that one on the side, gets knocked on the floor, and then you lose it.
Yeah, you don't want to lose any of them, do you?
That is just so handy, because you just put everything in place. You know if anything's missing. So when you're having a clear up, before you get the Hoover out, you can make sure you've got everything in there. And this is great as well, I think, if you are doing classes, which hopefully you will be now this year, unlike last year, because you've got everything in one place and you can just pop it in your craft bag.
Very much so. Now, if you fancy adding that into your basket, you can do. You can spread the cost of that over 3 payments as well. So it's going to work out just shy of £7, isn't it? Because, to be honest, the only one I can do is 7 times 3 is 21, and that's as close as I can get to 19.99. Not going to lie.
That's clever. Right, so finally, just adding some dimension to that apple. And basically, with the apple, I'm just going round in a circular motion. If you'd notice as well, I'm not spritzing these, but you can spritz them with your water, and that does help break down the fibres. And that just adds that little bit. If I just bring one over here that hasn't, because I am actually going to shape all of these because I need them. But can you see the difference?
Oh, wow.
Just adds enough shape to them so that you can add them to your wreath. So I'm going to quickly just add some dimension. So I'm going round, circular motions all the way round.
And I guess you find yourself kind of stamping and die cutting quite a few of these, and then have a little session where you're making them and putting them into a little bag or something.
Would you like to see mine?
Okay. Oh, so look at this, how organised.
These are all of mine. There's my winter. Got lots of different winter elements. There's my summer. So I've got everything ready to go. And then I'll have a colouring session.
Okay.
And then, so I've got bags of autumn, winter,
All ready
I
to
think
go.
I actually put the summer in there as well. But yeah, so I've got some already coloured bits as well. So I've got them to go to.
Wonderful.
Okay, so finally I need this one. There we go. Really easy and quick, but it is well worth spending that little bit of time to add some dimension, excuse me, to your
We've all got
leaves as
tickles
well.
in the studio.
Got tickles everywhere today. What's up with me?
And it's nice because you can see with some of those you kind of curved on the back, some of them you curved on the front.
Yeah, so I've done them slightly different so that when it comes to putting the wreath together, so we'll bring what I've done over here. Let me just bring that. So if you remember the octagons that we brought out last week, was it last week? I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh,
A week Friday just gone. So I am going to be using that one. But so you've got your outer edge, which will give you a full blocked base.
Right.
But then if you use the centre, like that, you will get your, actually it's the wrong way around probably, but yeah, so then you will get your half wreath.
Okay.
And then you also get another one which gives you a holly wreath as well.
Oh, okay.
So you've got all of that in that die
so is that set where you've got the dye?
You've got the bow in
like
there
an
as
extra
well.
dye, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got your bow with lots of different elements and ways to actually put that bow together, but I will do that in the next demo. And I think you've got a snowflake in there.
I love that because when they've actually made it, you can see that they've got that little bit of space left over, and it's like, well, we're not going to just leave a hole there. You've paid for that dye.
Exactly.
Yeah, stick a little
value for money.
Always useful to have, isn't it? And again, you can see the wreath building up there. You've got your different dyes, as Nikki's just explained. So you've got your outer dye there. So if you want to just create a mat in that shape, you can do. If you want to create a hole in the centre, then you can introduce the opposite dye, which is sitting right in the middle. But then, of course, if you want all that decorative detail, and you can see how you've got all those embossed lines featuring on there as well, with all that holly detail, then you can use that. Obviously, you've got the snowflake, and then you've got your additional elements here. So if you're wanting to add additional depth to the design, you can add a few kind of extra little snowflakes, as you can see. If you want to make it more of a spriggy type wreath, then you can do. You've got those there, and then of course you've got that fabulous bow. And again, the bow is made up of several different layers because there'll be different ways that you can put it together. Love it. Thank you, Nikki.
It is a really, really nice die set. So as I say, I am going with the octagon that we launched last week. And this is the heart one. We might even have them still on the website. I'm not 100% sure. So I've gone for that really nice lemon, but because it's a nice soft lemon, I've been able to add more colour, to add more depth and bring the red in onto my base card. Then I'm going in with that octagon heart shape, and I'm just literally going to glue this very quickly around there. That will fit in there. I did say when we launched these the other week, these are going to be probably my all-time favourite dyes. I love them. I really do.
Yeah.
You can see the hearts in there, and they are going to go with everything, any collection that you bring in. So what I've done is I've actually double layered my foam tape here because I actually really want this to lift off my page. It's not a page, is it? It's a card. I don't know why. I don't know why I've come out with that. But then before that, I've got my octagon here. So these still, maybe you might still be able to find, if you didn't see these, didn't catch those shows, and you're wondering what these dyes are all about, we should possibly have them still on rewind. Is it 7 days? So we might have just missed
60 days. So
no way.
Yeah, it's
you'll
a long time,
find
so definitely on there.
Definitely find
maybe it'll also be on the brand section as well, because of course when you shop online, if you go to the top left-hand corner, there's a little kind of heading that says brands. Click on there, you'll be able to find Heartfelt Creations, because everything's in alphabetical order, and you may well be able to find the dyes that way as well. Right, so I'm just wondering what way I did this. So you could do the wreath either way. Okay, so I'm just thinking which way. I want it that way, I think.
I'm just looking at, I'm looking over there because I can
oh,
see the card
is it
sitting
that
over
one?
there.
Is it that one you're looking at, Nikki?
It
Sorry.
is, yeah.
There you go,
Let's
then.
have a look.
Sorry,
I don't
didn't
actually think
realise.
it matters, to be fair, because when I start layering this up, so I'm going to bring in my glue gun. You can use foam tape if you want, just to lift the elements up. But first of all, what I want to do is I'm just going to add quite a lot of glue on it, and I'm not pushing it down, and that kind of lifts it up and gives me some depth.
Okay.
And 3-dimension. So I'm literally going to bring my leaves around, kind of uniformed each side to a degree, but I'm not really going to pay too much attention if I don't quite get it.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you try to do it symmetrically,
Yeah,
and it doesn't quite fit,
just
then
doesn't work. Then it'll annoy me because I think I wanted it symmetrical and it just hasn't worked. So you're probably best just to do what I'm doing.
Just go with the flow.
Just go with it, okay? Just like that one. So that's given me my base, okay? So I haven't worried too much about down here just yet, because I am going to add an owl at some point when we finish it. So lay those on top. Then I've got my 3 flowers. So I've done these in red, but of course think about all those flowers that you probably got at home that you can add to this as well. The cherry
sunflowers
cherry blossom
look
looks
nice with
good.
this as well, wouldn't they?
The sunflowers that we just did, what was that? Was that last week?
Oh, I can't remember. I know I've
lost
seen
a
them
flower.
recently, yeah.
I think it may have been last week. Okay, so not concentrating too much down here. We'll just put that leaf there. And then I've got my wheat. So I am just literally going to just snip off some of those ends like that. And then we'll just lift it up, just pop them in. You're just building it up and just filling it in.
It's lovely because you can kind of look to anywhere where there's any little gaps and you'll find
Yes,
something.
so
that you can
that's
fit
why I like
there.
to do my base with the leaves, and then just like you say, just build it up then from there. Go under there. Then we've got our red apples. Just again, just sitting that there. I'm going to put one, I think, just under here. That's sitting under there. Then I've got a smaller one there. Where should we put that one? I'll tell you what, we'll leave that one for a second. And then I've got a bow that I'm going to stick on here. So this is a Hessian bow. I haven't actually used, and you know, I don't even, I have done it right. I thought I've probably done it upside
An
down.
anxious moment then.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, bless you. Very quickly, I'm just going to mention the details on your screen, of course, for your one-day special with your extended delivery. Something that we have got in the warehouse and ready for dispatch, though, is our 7-day saver. But, and it is a big but, 60% of the stock has gone. Now, we've made some phone calls, because obviously today is Sunday. This was launched at 8 o'clock this morning, and obviously we're going to be concentrating on Heartfelt a lot over the next 24 hours. So we've made some calls. Now, if this does sell out on immediate dispatch, we will be able to get hold of more, but then you are going to be waiting. So you will have your 12 days, like you're going to be getting with your one-day special. So just bear that in mind. So if you want it and you want it now is a good time for you to place your order for this one. So 939385 is the item number, 19.99. It is a 7-day saver, but you need to be quick. If you're getting hold of this now, check your basket out, because you could potentially be waiting for it otherwise. Obviously, it's still worth the wait, but if you're a bit like me and you want it now, then I'd be checking out my basket straight away.
I would even say, even if you've got one, it's actually worth it, because obviously we've got a deal on it. It's, you're saving money, but it's always handy to have, especially if you do classes or you go to workshops, to have one in your craft bag and one at home in your craft room.
And it's useful for all of your crafting, not just your heartfelt crafting.
Oh, just think about all the other brands as well. Absolutely so useful.
Isn't that pretty?
So I've got a little owl.
A little owl, yes, of course.
So I've got to add some dimension to our little furry friend here. So the leaves, and then we'll turn it around. And let's give him a little chubby belly.
I'm a big advocate for a little chubby belly.
Oh, me too, but especially on owls, birds, kittens. You'll see me doing this. Always say, and let's give them a chubby belly. But look at this, look.
Oh,
But it's
adorable.
just given him or her some. I think what I might do with this actually, so he doesn't fall backwards. He might keep flopping backwards, and that would annoy me. So just, and that's not going to come off. A couple of foam pads. That's really just so when I glue him into place, he's take some more glue. He won't fall backwards. I think I've cut that a bit big, so I'm going to have to trim that. I want to sit him on that bow. You can see what I tried to do. I wanted to, there we go, perch him on the bow. And then we've got one red apple left, which I think I'm going to put
He's beautiful.
just here. Did you say hootiful?
Beautiful, yeah, as opposed to beautiful.
That's a good one. That is a very good one. There we go. And then if you wanted to, you can add one of those sentiment strips, which I've got mine here somewhere. Shall we have a look to see what we've got?
Well, 12 by 12s that you've got, there's loads of sentiments on those. So it'd be sport for choice, Nikki.
So what I've done with mine is
Okay,
I've already cut some strips up, so I can literally.
It's almost like a paper crafting kit,
Happy
isn't it, really,
birthday.
when you look at the paper
I think
pads?
it is this one, definitely. So I'm going to go for that one. And you can, as I say, you can add some more colour to it as well. So if I just go with that red that we were just using a second
This is
ago.
fabulous for anybody that's got their birthday kind of October, November time.
Oh, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't you love to? Oops. Didn't want to sit still. Receive one of these. And it's just, I find it very therapeutic to actually just build it up. And every single wreath that you make is going to be so different, especially if you mix and match it up with all of those decorative dyes that you've got.
True, and you were so right earlier on when you were saying about the sentiments, the ribbons that you've got there. I mean, that's going to lend itself to anything that you're creating that's got any floral content or any foliage, whether it's a heartfelt card or not.
Yeah, because it is, as I say, it's sort of like a tonal paper pad, isn't it? You've got all your different tones of greens in there.
Classic green.
And then just that bit of lemon. So I'll pop that in there.
It's tucked away. Oh, isn't that cute?
Oh, what's happened? Doesn't want
a
to
little
stay
bit
there.
springy. I love it. Now we've got a new to stamping viewer. Chris is asking, emails in. Good afternoon, Chris. Asking about the ink that you've utilised there. So with your demonstration, what kind of ink were you working with, Nikki?
Right, so I've used a mixture of distress inks. What else did we use? And my oxide inks.
Okay.
Just think about all the colours that you'd get in autumn. If you're brand new to crafting, I would probably suggest getting one red, a couple of yellow, different tones. But the wild honey, the festive berries I've used on this one. No, I didn't actually, did I? I went with...
Is it fine?
Oh, I did actually. I think I used both, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then one colour I would say you definitely need is tea dye.
Definitely,
I think
it's very useful one.
so useful.
Yeah.
But then for the green, I've gone with mowed lawn and that twisted citron, but I've used my oxides, and then I've gone back to my distress ink for my bundled sage to give me that kind of like sagey colour.
Yeah, very
on there.
effective. brilliant. Thank you for that, Nikki.
Thank you.
Good question, Chris, as well. So thank you for joining us. Very much enjoying the show as well. So thank you. So let me tell you about the one-day special. Of course, Nikki has been working with this one during the course of her demonstration, and lots of you have been ordering in the meantime. So so much so that actually 20% of the stock has gone. My goodness, it's a bumper bundle, and of course, at Heartfelt Creations, you know that you've got quality, you know that you've got value for money, and with this particular one, you've got 31 dies. You've also got 22 stamps? 22 stamps as well, and of course, lots of those elements will correspond, so the stamps will team up with the dies, and of course, the paper pad will team up with those dies as well. You've actually got 24 sheets in your pad, you've got 2 repeats of each of the 12 designs, and they are double-sided. Now, when you go for the I Want It All collection, you're also going to get your inspirational page, which will actually give you a project that you can get started on the moment it arrives. But of course, you can be creating wreaths for all year round. Might be you're creating something maybe with your Christmas cards in mind, or maybe like Nikki, you're going to go more autumnal with regards to your colours. Lots of reds and greens and those gorgeous warm tones coming through there. Equally so, it's a lovely set that's going to be perfect by the time we come around to springtime, spring and summer again. Areas that we do see wreaths appearing as well, Easter wreaths maybe, and also we kind of like those kind of twisted style wood. I think is it birchwood? They do those fabulous twisted wreaths as well. They look absolutely amazing with dried flowers and all sorts. Anyway, this is your complete collection. So if you're wanting to get hold of it all, then you can see there you have got your first flexi buy payment of £36.64. That will mean that everything will be sent on its way to you. Now you've got £25 saving on top of the £5 saving that you will be getting with your essentials. The essentials are made up of the core essentials. So these are the kind of things that Heartfelt say you've got enough to get by. You haven't got the complete range, so you're going to have to do a lot of fussy cutting yourself with the different elements in there. But of course, if you are on a budget, then that might be something you're looking at doing. So you've got your paper pad, the 24 sheets that we mentioned earlier on. You've also got your core essentials, stamps and dies. These are for your summer wreath, as you can see, but of course you can play around with those colours as you so choose. Love the fact you've got that little kind of bird's nest in there and the little bird along with the little babies, and they're very, very cute. So that is your essentials. Now, of course, the essentials includes that fabulous paper pad. Paper pad itself, if you want to get more of that particular paper pad, you can get them for just £17.99. It's always a popular one because, of course, when you're creating and you're die cutting your paper pad, then it's one of those consumables. You will find that you will run out of the elements. But if you are going for the I Want It All collection, you'll have your paper pad and you'll have the stamps as well. We always suggest that if you're going for the I Want It All collection to treat yourself to an extra paper pad, because it only works out at an extra £8 on those payments. And you can see there, I mean, more than enough covering with the kind of the cost of that paper pad there, because you've got at least a £25 saving, haven't you? It's amazing. Absolutely brilliant. So, well, actually, it's more £30, isn't it, if you're going for that, because you've got the fiver as well on your essentials. How quickly I forget. 262-203 if you're wanting to get hold of that. And then, well, the world is your oyster with regards to creating your projects. You might be taking some of the elements from the Wreath Dye. Now, the Wreath Dye gives you a fabulous base to get started with, as we saw Nikki working with. And indeed, on this particular one, it's just tucked away underneath, but you've got all those gorgeous floral elements, the fabulous foliage there as well, which obviously sits on top to give the dimension. You've also got the lovely bow. Now, the bow is made up of several dies, allowing you either to create your outline, which you can see sitting neatly on the top there. You've got your underside element, which, of course, if you want to stick the two together, you can. But I love the way that you kind of got the dimension with this one where they're separated. And then you'll notice just at the back there, you've got your final mat with that one. So when they come together, if you do want to actually stick them down in place, you can see that you could actually change the colour of that base layer and then obviously have a different look to it. It's all about getting and achieving the looks that you want. Some really pretty designs with regards to these. It might be that you're taking the elements and creating almost like a flourish, as you can see, all that gorgeous foliage weaving through the card. Might be that you're going down the route of creating something that looks a mixture of autumnal and Christmassy with this, because you can see you've got little elements, little berries and things like that, the autumnal content, but then taking you through to the Christmas season with regards to things like you've got obviously your holly, you've got your little baubles in there, you've got bells, you've got all sorts, and the pine cones going on with this one as well. But as we say, it's not just about your Christmas cards, it's about creating your birthday cards in a different style. I love this idea. We've almost got that crescent moon shape with this one. Lovely way of working with those. And again, when you've got the stamps and dies, you can be creating and adding your colour in whatever way you so choose. Don't forget though, of course, your autumnal elements are going to be perfect if you are looking towards Halloween. And of course, with this particular set, it is going to be dispatched, 12 days time, which is going to be the 15th of October. So you'll still be able to create some of those fabulous Halloweeny themed projects. 262203. Now, of course, we have got that 7-day saver. Just to let you know, as I mentioned earlier on, for immediate dispatch, we are now limited in stock. We're down to single figures now. Now, you will have seen Nikki work with this one during many of her Heartfelt shows. It's her go-to toolkit. And the reason being is it all comes together beautifully in the box, as you can see there, with your magnetic closure. You've got your larger mat, which Nikki regularly works on when she's creating the curvature and the shape with her different pieces. You've got another kind of foam block in here, which is a little bit more dense. You might use that when you're working with the piercing tool to put little holes in the centre of different things like your petals and your flowers. You've got the tool. Now, the tool is actually double-ended, so you've got little magnets on each end, and then all you're doing really is just picking out the tools that you want to go in either of those ends. So it might be that you're going for a ball tool, might be that you're going for the piercing tool. It doesn't matter because they sit both in the ends there, and you can kind of swap those in and out as you so choose, which is nice because if you're doing something and you're wanting maybe a broader ball tool on one end and then something for finer detail, you can just literally flip and rotate that tool around. Again, you've got a whole host of different tools sitting in here. You've got 10 interchangeable tips. I can never remember all the different sizes, so I'm going to pop it all together and flip it over to the back because it tells me on here. So you've got your piercer, so that's going to be like your pokey tool. So you've always got a pokey tool there. Nikki said this is a perfect kit to be taking on your classes and workshops. Your 1mm going right the way through to your 12mm, and then of course you've got your curling tool there as well. But for immediate dispatch, it is now technically sold out. So if it's in your basket, you might be okay. I say might be, depends how quickly you check your baskets out. Because the thing is, we are now going over to extended delivery, and you'll notice now it says extended delivery on your screen. That's because the warehouse stock that we've got has gone to obviously people who place their orders, people who've got this in their baskets as well, and that's quite important because if you're placing your order from this point on, you're going to be looking at extended delivery the 15th of October, similar to your 1-day special. But if it's in your basket and you check your basket out straight away, then you will get yours dispatched straight away. So do be quick, because if any of those fall back into our stock allocation, it's only fair that I give people a little bit of a heads up so as they can get there a bit sooner rather than later. But it's still worth the wait. So Nikki, what's the plan next?
We're hopping over into winter now.
Oh, okay.
So it's turning a bit colder. So we're going to do a Christmas wreath. Okay, so you've got lots of different size hollies. The nice thing about this is they are all different sizes, so you're going to be able to build a really nice wreath up with them. So basically, just adding a little bit of dimension, just going around at the tips, and then just bring that up. And then you can straighten it a little bit if you like. We've got some ferns in here. So I've gone for like a...
They almost look like little feathers as well.
They do actually, don't they? They do. Now you say that.
Change the colour of them.
I think I used archival olive for this one. So it's given me sort of like a... I'm going to say it because I can't think of another way to explain it. A dirty green.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
An aged green?
An aged, yeah, that sounds better, doesn't it?
Or a mucky green, whichever you pick.
I can't believe I just said, I couldn't think of anything else.
That's a bit like me yesterday. We were talking about embroidery hoops, and I went, what did I say? A bit slack. A bit slack. Gosh, that's an awful word, isn't it? But it kind of said what it meant.
Sometimes we just can't come out with the right words. So you've got your different ferns in here, your different size hollies. So I'm literally going to show you what I'm putting on, okay?
So again,
might not
these
use
could be
everything.
A kind of a session when you're sitting there one evening making all of your foliage.
Absolutely,
and then another time putting it together.
And then I'm going to put some pine cones in. And I've already shaped them. The same, basically, I shaped those as we did the apples.
Okay.
Okay, let me just move my card out of the way for a minute because we're not ready for you yet. And then I've got some bells. Okay, so I've already shaped my bells and I've coloured them in, and I just want to show you again how easy it is to colour them in. So I'm going to go in with, I think my first colour was Scattered Straw.
And it's nice because the stamp that you use in there, actually it's the Christmas bell, the little kind of jingle bell, and 2 sizes of baubles all stamp out at the same time and die cut at the same time.
They
so
do,
if you're looking at this and thinking, oh, it's a little tiny stamp, a little tiny die, then it's not. It's just a clever way that Heartfelt works. So if I show you here, you can see that you've got the stamp there where you've got obviously the kind of the ding-dong bell, as I would call it, which you could use potentially for weddings and things like that, couldn't you, as well? So your big bell there, you've got 2 sizes of baubles and your little jingle bell. And the die that works alongside that one is this particular die that you've got here. So you can see it's a substantial size stamp. Sorry, there you go. It's at the bottom, that one there and that one there. It's just, if I hold it that way round, it might look wrong way round. But yeah, you can do it that way as well. Doesn't matter really, does it? But that corresponds with that die. So you can see there, you're not losing any little tiny dies or tiny little stamps because they all kind of cut out at the same time as well. Which I like because, yeah, as you can imagine, I've lost a lot of dies and a lot of little tiny stamps over the years.
Right, so you're back on me now. There we go. So I've coloured in the base with that Scattered Straw. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Wild Honey, just to add a little bit more depth. And then if you want to add a little bit more detail, I'm going in, I'm just making sure that is the right colour. So it's very similar, I think, to the tea dye in the Distress ink, and it's just like beige, okay, but it's sort of like the same sort of shade. And then where the artist has put that shading in, I'm just literally going to follow those lines. Just bring them round slightly. A little bit there. I'll do a little bit at the top there as well. And then I'm going to take my dauber and I'm literally going to blend that in. Because they are water-based pens, can you see how it's just added slightly dark? You can even go in again with a little bit of dark. Didn't mean to go over that line, but it doesn't matter.
It's amazing, isn't it, how that shading makes it look more kind of rounded.
And
very
3D
clever.
already,
Yeah.
because obviously I've gone in, added a little bit more shading on these ones. Might have actually...
There's no Christmas embellishments on those bells, so again, you could use them for a wedding or something like that.
Might have actually gone in with this one. Should we try it? Why not? Live on air. If it's not the right colour. It wasn't that one. I don't know what colour I used on it, I don't.
Or whichever colour it was,
But
it's a good one.
it works because just blend it in. And the paper stock that I've used to stamp onto is the Pink Frog.
Oh, okay.
So it's their
They're super smooth.
their
kind, is
super
it?
smooth
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, next hour we've actually got a happy hour. And I think there'll be some super smooth feature in that one, so it might be a good one to stock up on.
as I say, it's my
Casting my eyes
go-to.
over there.
It is
Some
my go-to cardstock.
Really good cardstock.
There we go.
I know
Some
Paola's
down
coming
the
up with
edge.
that one, so you can guarantee she'll have something up her sleeve to entertain you.
Thing is, with the Pink Frog Super Smooth, you can use it for your alcohol markers and you can use it for your watercolours as well.
Yeah, it's a good point. You don't have to kind of think about or separate
Oh,
up
I'm
cardstock.
terrible.
'Cause, yeah, it's all
I get
just
them
white
confused.
cardstock when it gets to
There you
my
go.
craft room.
Then you can just add some dimension. So there's my bells. So I'll tell you what, we'll keep all my elements on there.
It's nice because you could actually do that in die cut them in I don't know, brown cardstock, and then add your embellished detail with things like your
Yes.
embossing powders and
You
make
could.
them look more metallic.
As I say, there's so many different ways that you could make these wreaths look. So
Nikki, just to give you a bit of a time check, I think we're looking at about just shy of 4 minutes left on the hour.
was that it? No
That's it,
way.
it's that quick
Oh
it's
my
gone.
goodness, no! I thought we had about 20 minutes. Where has that show gone? Right, I'll tell you what, rather than actually glue it together then, I'm going to lay those layers on there so you get a gist of it, because I do want to hopefully try and put it together. So that
you can
would
always
be
pop it together
my
during
layers.
the break if you want.
Yeah, and then I'll show everyone.
Because we're back with you at 8 o'clock,
So
aren't we?
what I've done is I've got some of those octagons again, work really well with this wreath. So I'm going to do one straight. And you can, if you want, you could lift it up if you wanted with your foam tape. I have actually got the finished one somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a challenge for me.
That's going to be a challenge. Is it on
It
the
might
top
be on the
there?
front, I
think it's
think.
on the front there, on the far right.
Oh, I think I may have accepted and completed your challenge.
So, but I've done this one slightly different. So with this one, I don't think I did the wreath in gold, but on this one,
you used like a green paper.
I used the green paper. So with this one, I've gone a little bit more gold. And the thing is with this as well, this is a nice one with the holly, just on its own.
Actually, yes.
Right, so
So is that the die that comes, kind of the die without the stamp set alongside it, the seasonal
yes,
die?
this is the seasonal.
Ah, okay. It is a pretty die,
So
that
I'm
one.
literally just going to lay them on so we get a gist of what I'm doing. And I have no idea what I did actually. I know what I didn't. I can't believe I've run out of time. Do you know, I haven't done this for a long time. That's how I think you can see how much I enjoy working with
You
this.
kind of lose yourself in adding the colour,
I
don't
am
you, and that's the
literally
thing.
losing myself because I haven't even made the bow yet, and I was going to make a bow.
Well, we can do that at 8 o'clock.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yes, because we're back together again, aren't we?
At 8 o'clock, and that's the show that will be repeated through the night as well, so it'd be a nice one to actually show that one.
So yeah, I'll
but-
finish the wreath off, glue it all in, and then we'll finish the bow off in the next.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Nikki. So we're down to the last kind of 30 seconds of the hour or so. This has been the launch hour, and lots of you have been taking advantage of not only that fabulous one-day special, but of course the 7-day saver that we showed you earlier on as well. Now, if you're going for your one-day special, which is your complete collection, you need to be aware that a quarter of the stock has gone already. We've only had 1 hour with this, the launch hour, which we always know is incredibly busy, especially when lots of you place your orders before we even get started. Now, you've got your 3 flexi buys, making it a very affordable way for you to get hold of this one, with 3 payments of £36.64. And the saving of £25 on your screen is in addition to the £5 saving that you will get with your core essentials. Of course, if you want to go for your core essentials, you can do. You're paying a little over £46 for those, but do bear in mind that your first flexi buy on the complete collection will include those core essentials, but your payment will come down to £36.64. And if you do want to add in that 7-day saver, as we mentioned, you've got a fabulous saving with that fabulous flower shaping kit. But it's on extended delivery now because we did sell out on the immediate stock of this one. It's 15th of October. Definitely worth the wait. Nikki, thank you so much.
Thank you. See you again at 8 o'clock.
You will indeed. Inspirational
Thank
as
you.
always. Looking forward to working with you later as well. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere because Paola's got some amazing prices for you in the happy hour.